All right, all right. We talked about the game. We talked about how awesome it was. We talked about how excited I am for the season. We talked about how I didn't think that this was just any preseason that the Spurs have had in the past. This was one in which we saw flaws from game to game. We saw different situations that they found themselves in, and still they managed to win convincingly and make it basically not even close, at least with the Pacers. It's not even close. Whole nother level, at least in the first 3 quarters. That's all I really care about. Fourth quarter, they kept the lead, did their thing, did well. But I really cared about the first 3 quarters where the teams are genuinely battling it out, getting ready for the season. With that being said, I want to talk about the injuries because I think quite a few people are worried. And we actually have a tweet here that talks about what's going on injury-wise. Before we do that, just big shout out to Sleeper as always. If you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, please head on over to Sleeper. They do have the NBA stuff up. Now. So if you guys want to go over there, maybe just have some fun, or you can make a little bit of money, please head on over to Sleeper and use the promo code CLAN, and you'll receive 100% match up to $100. So you just go on there, super simple. You just say, hey, Luka Doncic, this game, what do I expect? Did they put a little chef hat on Steph Curry? Look at that. Just for that, I'm gonna say more than 26 points. But if this is something you guys are interested in, please do so. Make your picks, add them in, make yourself some dough, okay? Some good dollar. All right, so here we go. So this was actually posted before the game, okay, but it had a little bit of information here. So first and foremost, if you guys don't know, Jeremy Sohan sprained his left wrist in practice and was expecting to miss opening night. Now the funny thing about it is I'm pretty sure he was set to miss opening night anyways, so I don't think that this is like a crazy thing going on, right? I was trying to take a look at Sohan. I didn't see anything like wrapped around his wrist. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's very hard to tell. You know, it's not like they talked about it at all watching the game. But he did sprain his wrist. He returned to a 5-on-5 scrimmage yesterday, and then that's when he suffered the injury there. But he will enter the season day to day. But he added on here that it looks as if maybe he'll be back in the lineup about the same time as Fox. So more than likely they'll be like a game or two next to each other. But right here, you can see these are some of the injuries, and this is what we can kind of expect going into the season. I have no idea with the Kelly Olynyk stuff. I'm just going to assume, knowing the San Antonio Spurs, that we won't see him day one. And I know that this is just one game, but this is a pretty big game, right? You're going against a Mavs team, which I don't think they're like the best team in the world, but I do think it's going to be a lot of people watching. The Spurs are going to want to get this game. And yeah, they want to send a message starting off the season. You just went undefeated in the preseason, and now you want to, really take it in the regular season. By the way, I do want to say this. I didn't bring this up when we were talking about that last game, but Wemby looked good. I mean, as far as conditioning wise, right? A few times, like he looked a little tired, but it wasn't as bad as last season. You can tell that he's healthier, where he's not just like struggling getting down the court. Now it's just preseason, but so far I thought he's looked fine. Like his conditioning looks just fine. Okay. He also had a dream shake, and this is random. He also had a dream shake in there that was absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. Thank you, Hakeem. But yeah, Jeremy Sohan left wrist, De'Aaron Fox hamstring, which we even had Fox on record saying it's not that big a deal. He's going to be okay. Kelly Olynyk returned from heel surgery, okay? And then Adam Flagger. Wait, was Kelly Olynyk available in this game? Did I miss him? I don't think Kelly Olynyk played. I didn't see Kelly Olynyk play. Okay. Yeah, he's just saying he was out. Okay. Yeah, out for Spurs. Okay. I'm tripping. McLaughlin is a maybe for Friday. Okay. But we know what happened there. Just Fox and Sohan are expected to miss opening night Wednesday in Dallas and will be targeting a return sometime around the end of this month. So both of those guys, we won't be seeing them for at least a few games. So let's take a look at the Spurs season. And by the way, I don't think we need those two to win early in the season. I mean, just to be honest, I think we'll be totally fine without them right now. So what will probably be a good... All right, so we know the Spurs, right? We know the Spurs. They're saying they won't be back until the end of this month. So I'm going to predict what I think is going to happen here. Won't be back this game. Probably won't be back this game. And then you have a double header. That's probably not going to happen. But both of which are in San Antonio, so that's good. But maybe they'll have them play during the Raptors game, and then you'll have 3 games. Well, 8, 9. You have a few games off, and then you can go into this one. Or they'll just have them play in this one, and then you have a pretty nice break between you going to the next one. But this back-to-back, we won't see them. So more than likely, we won't see them until probably the 30th. That's what I'm assuming. You probably won't see them until the 30th. But we'll see. Fox, if anybody's back quicker, I think Fox will be back quicker. The fact that Sohan suffered, another injury, I don't think that they'll rush him back. But Fox, he's gonna be fine. I start Sohan too. He's our best point of attack defender on the team. He and the guy you want on the other team's best perimeter player. Yeah, I mean, it'll be the same. There's no difference between last season to this season as far as who's going to be guarding the opposing team's best player. It's going to be Sohan. There's no reason to think otherwise. He's so versatile in that regard that he's going to be guarded up against the best player on the opposing team. Eventually I think Carter Bryant could get there, but Carter Bryant just offensively, he ain't there. So they're not going to, I think he'll get some playing time, but I don't think he's going to be in there. Availability is the best ability. I mean, availability is base, that's the lowest of bars you could possibly have. Lonnie Walker's available. so it doesn't, yeah. But he'll be all right. Yeah, facts. Our focus in defense this year, and he's obviously our second best defender. His shooting may come into question, but he looks actually pretty decent. It's just shoot arounds, but he looks actually pretty decent. Oh no! I see super chat, and I'm like, oh, thanks for the super, and I see it's caps. Oh no. Okay, what does it say? I don't want to read it. Oh no. It's gonna say something stupid. Okay. I love you, Caps, but oh my god. Here we go. Clan, get one. Wait. Clan, get one. Sohan is always hurt and is not reliable. Too boring. A homer. The guy, it's not good. I'll give him $10 million to Towway for 5 years. That's it. Take it or leave it. Bro, jumping on here and you went to work. You worked your butt off. Okay? I know jobs suck out there. Whatever job it is, it doesn't matter what job you got at this point in this economy. It sucks. You came back home from a long day's work. You jumped on here to the YouTube channel and you sent me some of that money you made just to hate on Sohan. That's crazy work, Caps. That is crazy work. You went out of your way. I'm sorry. No, you don't have to say sorry. It's okay. It's okay. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. I make a lot of money. Well, drop it then. That's if I have to interact with you on why Sohan is so bad, then I should get paid to do so. Good God. He paid. Read it. I have to read it. That's the rule of the channel. If people super chat, I have to read it. Unless it's like actually like insulting, which I don't think that's insulting. That's just him hating on Sohan until he love him. He gonna love him. You just gotta give him some time. Super chat. Yeah. Super chat for every message. You can't message me, Caps. I'm not interacting with you. I'll interact with everyone else, but I'm not interacting with you unless you super chat. That's the rule for Caps. So I don't even see you until there's a super chat. Oh, man. All right. Anyways, so as far as injuries, that's what it's looking like. More than likely, this will be the starting lineup day one. I mean, I'm going to make that assumption. I don't really see any way around doing it this way, right? Now, I'm hoping that once Fox returns, maybe you can move Devin Vassell out of that starting lineup. But, yeah. What I'm starting to be convinced of is Julian Champagnie has to start. Like, he is just too valuable as a 3-and-D. So maybe, like, when it comes down to it, we'll see something like Fox, Champagnie, Barnes, Sohan, Wemby, or something like that. But we'll see. And good for us that we have a really great... Okay, great might be too. I'm not going to give him great. But I think he's really good right now. We'll see if he's great. But we got a really good coach in making sure that we define everyone's roles, and it's very obvious that everyone understands their roles. And, you know, some of us might want to be like, oh, you know, Popovich, he didn't do it right. But I think the fact of the matter is, this is the first year that the Spurs genuinely have a lot of talent where you can define roles clearly. And Popovich didn't really have that, right? Like, didn't really have it. Guys, it's during a rebuild. So you don't really have, like, definitive roles for everybody. You didn't know how to really use Wemby yet. You know, some guys you kind of knew exactly what you should be, but then we're still, you know, experimenting because we don't know. Maybe you could be a little bit more, right? Like Sohan in particular, like he's been moving all over the place. Don't have a backup center, and so you have to fit him in to being a backup center. You know, like it's just a lot of nonsense that we had to do. But this is the first time where we can genuinely say, okay, this is your role, this is your role, this is your role, this is what you're going to be doing this season. And it makes sense because we have the talent available and we have the depth and players available. But yeah, would you run Fox? What do you mean in this? Oh, God. Okay, please tell me how Sohan adds to this team. Well, there's two things that the San Antonio Spurs are really good at this year. There's two things in particular, two main bread and butter that they're going to be doing all season long. And those two things that they're great at, Sohan fits in perfectly well. Number one, rim pressure. Sohan is one of the most efficient rim pressure scoring players, just in general, scoring players. That was a weird way of putting that. Scorers on the team that we have as far as his percentage around the rim. I mean, it's very good. Even around that, we looked at the stats on this. We looked at the percentile. Like, he's pretty doggone good. He's one of the best pick and roll finishers, right? So kind of staying in that realm. You know, him being a really great pick and roll player plays dividends for someone like Fox and someone like Harper, who's really great around screens. Okay, really good around screens. So that really helps. And number two, defense. That's our butter. That was our that was our bread, and this is our butter. Defense. Like he is undoubtedly the second best defender on this team, statistic wise. What he brings, versatility, what you could do with him. Undoubtedly, he is the second best defender on the team. So that's what you're looking at. So you're looking at someone who can give you rim pressure, and you're looking at someone who can, well, I guess it's three things: rim pressure, phenomenal screen pick and roll player, and also phenomenal defender. Those are 3 things that he brings that's very important, and yeah, that's how he makes the team better. Just like I've said before, Sohan is one of those players that he's like an amplifier, okay? That's the perfect way of putting Sohan. He's an amplifier. He amplifies your strengths. Sohan alone, yeah, it's not going to be that impressive, right? Like if we have to rely on Sohan, it's not that impressive. But when you put the right pieces together and then you have him in a role where he can just do that role of being a power forward, defender, pick and roll guy, a cutter, he is really good. And then if you add the fact that maybe he has a pretty decent catch and shoot shot now, I mean, he's been getting better, but if he has a decent one, yeah, he's very valuable. He amplifies everyone's strengths, and he's also a pretty good connector as well, right? So he just amplifies everything. He's just one of those players where you could basically fit him in on any team, and he can make that team better because his strengths are pretty universal for any team. So, sorry, Caps. I can't read your message. I can't see it because it's not a super chat. Thanks for the super chat, Jonesy. He says, Clan versus Caps rap battle, must see moment. I would destroy him, okay? I would be Kendrick Lamar and he would be Drake, okay? I would be Nas and he would be Jay-Z. I would be Eminem and he would be MGK. I would be Eminem and he would be Mariah Carey. I would be Eminem and he would be Ja Rule, okay? That's what he would be to me. I would squash him. Wouldn't even be close. You're thinking, oh, is it a Tupac and Biggie moment? No. It's an Eminem and Limp Bizkit moment, okay? You don't know my freestyle skills? Well, I guess I don't. Put your hands up and follow me. Put your hands up. Look. As he stand tough, notice that Caps did not have his hands up. Okay, another super chat. Thank you, Brandon. He says, he's a better... Wait, here's a better super chat. Okay. Sohan's the best point of attack defender on the team. He's also a very good, quick decision maker on offense. Yes, that is true. And he scores well at the rim. He's very good for the Spurs. Yeah, he fits right in. He amplifies everything that you said, just amplifies it. He doesn't make the team worse in any way. And you can't say that for, like, he's one of those players. That's the good thing about guys like him. He's one of those players where defense is always going to be a pillar. Like, he's always going to be good at defense. I haven't seen one game in which Castle was not Castle, I'm sorry. Well, Castle too. But I haven't seen one game in which Sohan was not good defensively. Good to elite. Like, not one game. Okay? I've seen games where he might not have scored as well, right? But as far as his decision making, like you mentioned, it's always good, and his defense is always good to elite. A guy like that who's just not a liability is very important. And you can't say that for everyone on the team. You can't say that for all the other role players on the team, right? If we go to Harrison Barnes, right? If Harrison Barnes isn't scoring offensively, yes, in an abstract way, he creates, opportunities just from guys not being able to just leave him open. But apart from that, if he's not playing well offensively, it's kind of a wash, right? Like, he's just mid, if not just bad out there. Devin Vassell, same thing. Like, Devin Vassell's a pretty decent defensively, but if his offense isn't scoring and he's not like a legitimate threat, kind of the same thing, right? But I will say Devin Vassell's a good passer and decent defender, so it doesn't show up as tough for him. Let's see, who's another one? I would say maybe Carter Bryant right now, right? But we won't see a ton of him yet. But his offense is not that great, so he could be somewhat of a liability offensively, but he's good defensively. Keldon Johnson, like I said, good offensively, really good offensively, but when he's not, it's a wash. There's nothing you can do with it. But someone like Sohan, it's really not. He's going to always be phenomenal defensively. He's always going to be a smart player offensively. It's just not really things I can point at and be like, oh, Sohan needs to not be in the game, you know? All right, so I guess for this segment, last super chat I'll take a look at, just for this segment, and, you know, we'll do other segments. I prefer the starting lineup. Oh, and this is Bevan, by the way. Thanks, Bevan. Bevan said, are you from Australia? Is that what that A means? Are you from Australia? I prefer the starting lineup of Fox, Castle, Champagny, Sohan, Wimby. Have Barnes come off the bench to spread the floor with Cornette. Fox, Castle, Champagny, Sohan, Wimby. I'm okay with that. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm cool with it. That's not bad. Brandon agrees with you, I think. He said not a bad idea. Oh, wait, no, he disagrees maybe. Not a bad idea, but the spacing with the lineup might be tricky. I think I'd rather alternate Sohan and Castle. Alternate Sohan and Castle? Oh, okay, I get what he's saying. I don't know how good. Let me look at Castle real quick. Castle hasn't been taking a lot of threes, has he? Like outside shots? Like I said, that's not one of our bread and butters, but let's see. Let's go to game log. This is last season. Oops. Because I'm holding hands. I didn't realize Castle just came back that last game. I think it's too early to judge on if Castle improved his three-point shooting or not. I mean, first game he went 2 for 4. You know, had his 50%. This game in particular, while he went 1 for 4, that 1-3 he had was really impressive because the time was running up off the clock, and he took like a step back 3 that was very difficult, contested, and knocked it down like it was nothing. So, I don't know. I don't think we've seen enough to really like hit on him. You know what I mean? So the spacing might be totally fine. Same with Sohan. Same with Sohan, because he's been nonstop working at it. So. Clan, can you ban caps but rather bang raps? I'm not gonna ban caps just for saying Sohan's bad. I can't. That's a ridiculous reason to ban somebody. I would never ban him for that. Let's see here. Yeah, exactly. Sohan's shot was broken when he first came in. His shot is much better now. It's ridiculous. It's a massive improvement. I was never expecting him to be a three-point shooter. I thought this would always be immense liability, but it's not really, at least from what we've seen and him just getting better each year, is not really something I'm as worried about. I think this past season they just wanted him to focus on a few other things, and especially him having to like be backup center and all that nonsense. He just didn't take a lot of three-point attempts. They dumbed down his role. He took way more three-point shots last season and then had the same percentage. So we really don't know where he's at, but we know that it's improved since college, like tenfold, like way better. He was so bad in college. Anyways, moving on.